So, hello to everyone. My name is Catherine Varadi. I am one of the founders of the Golden Duck Gallery in Budapest. And here we are in our Golden Duck Gallery. And I am facing our fantastic guests, gorgeous guests, the founders, the owners and directors of Teravarna Gallery, which is situated in Los Angeles. And we together, our two galleries, are collaborating now in a big project, which we called ArtBIAS. That means that Budapest International Art Show. So it was a very interesting collaboration because Teravarna Gallery is highly experienced in making online contests, international contests, and they are really fantastic in that. Very transparent, very quick, very productive in all ways. And from our side, we have experience in the groundwork, I mean in physical gallery space. So we made this collaboration in the way that Teravarna Gallery announced the contest. So they made the whole great work with the online part of the show. Then we had a jury together. And after that, now we made the exhibition here in Budapest. So tomorrow we are having the grand opening, and our guests have come to see it and to take part in it. But it's not only about ArtBIAS and not only about business and collaboration. I think that we already have become friends and we have roots in this, our past things. So I actually would like you to introduce yourselves, because I could do that, but it's always better if you introduce yourselves your way, because I am sure that those who are watching us or will be watching us will be very, very much interested in you.
So I'm Niladri Sarker, and I'm the founder of Teravarna. It used to be called Art Show International Gallery, and we were very successful with that name for a long time, but then we wanted to rebrand to get into more of, let's say, serious art, or as we transitioned, we thought we wanted to be more transparent. And so that's why we had the name Teravarna, which means Tera is like terabyte. It's billion colors, and Varna means color. So it's a billion colors. We have a great diverse community of artists from all over the world. Right now we represent about over 90 countries who regularly exhibit with us, and thousands of artists. So we are quite proud that we have given platform to a lot of artists who are otherwise not being able to see. They were very talented, but they were not being able to be shown anywhere. So that's a great part of it, having an online gallery. But now we are collaborating with Golden Duck Gallery. Catherine Varadi, she's excellent in her own space here, and then she has kindly asked us to, provide some of the resources that we have. So we are sharing the resources right now, and she has a beautiful, magnificent gallery. I saw it online before, gotcha, but when I actually, walked in today, it was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe. I was telling Katya earlier that as I walked in, even the smell of paint, even if I was blindfolded, I walked in, I would know this is an art gallery. It's just it's excellent, the elegance and everything around it. And so yeah, I think this is going to go a long way, and we have started ArtBIAS, Budapest International Art Show, and this is only the first time, and hopefully we'll be able to move further along.
To make more.
Yeah, exactly.
ArtBIAS 2, 3.
ArtBIAS 2, 3, exactly. Yeah, we'll definitely look into it, and we got a great response from artists. We had like almost 300 artists who participated and who are really excited to be here. And so yeah, we are still going strong with our own online gallery. We are trying to get gallery space in the Southern California area. But while we do that, we are also in LA Art Show, in San Francisco Art Market, and super fine art shows. Several of these, probably Art Basel later this year. But while we do that, we wanted to have extend hand towards a physical gallery and it's great to have someone who's going to take care and do all the groundwork of the showing the artwork or showing the artists. So that's where we are right now. And you'd like to introduce yourself?
It's your turn.
I'm Niladri Sarker. I am the director for Teravarna Gallery. First of all, thank you so much, Katya, for this wonderful opportunity to be in Budapest to visit this amazing gallery. I mean, it's one thing to see it virtually, but it's a completely different experience to be actually present within the gallery. As Niladri pointed out, as I walked into this, I was like amazed by the immensity as well as all the artwork that you have here, your display, and the space you have here is huge. It's huge. So, and the location is amazing.
Thank you.
So it's overall, if anybody gets the opportunity to be in Budapest, definitely visit the gallery. It's great.
Well, thank you.
And again, I really, I'm impressed and really enjoy being here in Budapest and having the opportunity to visit the city this morning. We got to see the parliament
by the rain.
And yes, it's a different experience, right? How many times can you get wet in the rain?
In Budapest. We here in Budapest get wet regularly, Yeah. Sometimes we wish it not to be so often. Yeah, but actually, I can say that we have a lot of things that are common in our galleries, because Gaudenda Gallery is a family-owned gallery and a family-run gallery, and the same is for Teravarna. And because Teravarna, as you see, Niladri and Shamima are husband and wife, so it's a couple. And so this is always so interesting. So like when you find a partner or to collaborate with, you don't know those things. And somehow you feel that all is managed by the skies, because actually the chance to find the same gallery, the same principles, the same mission, it's hard. I mean, I met a lot of galleries already, and yours one is outstanding because you are very open to the artists. Because as you remember, I started to work as an artist with your gallery. So I had more than 1 year experience with working with you, participating in contests. I had a solo exhibitions with you. So I saw that you are very, very trustworthy. The integrity of your gallery is very high. So I like to work with you very much, but I had no idea that you are also a family gallery, and that your mission, as I understand, is to help the the emerging artists, right. To help them in their career. So you are an artist yourself, Niladri, aren't you?
Yes, I'm an artist. It hasn't been my full-time profession. I used to be a scientist and a professor. I still am like part-time, but my life's passion has always been art, and I really wanted to be an artist. And I did do many exhibitions at one point, like in Soho in New York and around the world, a few places too. But that's been a few years now, and I was actually selling my art myself and trying to show my art through galleries, online galleries, and that's when all of a sudden there was COVID, and no one ever saw in the last 100 years something like that. Yeah. And I thought of selling art online, because I couldn't go out to a gallery and show my artwork, and I had like a 50, 80 artworks sitting in my home. So I basically tried to do this through online, and you know how things are with online. You have to do giclée print or sell the original, pack it up, and you cannot even pack it, so ship it. So all those problems arose. But we kind of, we went through those, and then it occurred to me, why not do this with other artists? Because I saw how bad the art galleries were. Everything was completely shut down. And I got a great response from artist community, and not only emerging artists. That's the funny thing, because from a lot of, like Scandinavian countries and Turkey, for instance, there were some artists who are really great in their, I didn't know their names, but they were great in their country. They were well-renowned. They were international artists. And I was actually, it was great to see them participate in our gallery to show their work in competitions, and then I started to advertise them in our solo shows. And that's about when Artsy, one of the biggest platforms in online art, they called me, and they wanted to have a premium partnership with them, VIP partnership, and I agreed, obviously. And that kind of opened the way to a lot of, then now the emerging artists could sell their work. I mean, we have artists who no one knew of from India, from Switzerland, sell their work, their first work even, and people from in the United States and Europe, they've bought, and we were really proud. We were thinking that we are actually helping these artists realize their dreams. And so that's ultimately my thing about having the emerging artists get to be known around the world. And of course, the established artists, I know they're, a lot of the galleries, almost all the galleries that I talk to, usually when I email them, as an artist, I know how it is. They just fall into a black hole. You never see the email again, or you think maybe it went to the spam, maybe I didn't hit the send button, and then I never hear back from a real gallery, what I consider a real gallery. But then we make it a point to answer every single email, even if you're mad at us. Let us know why you are mad at us, and then we'll let you know. We'll set it right, and we'll make it right. So we usually reply within hours, sometimes within minutes. That's what we.
Yeah, it's exactly so. Yeah, I wonder when you sleep at all. I mean, I always get answer the video. Yeah, but.
Yeah, we have people in different continents.
Then work will be there, and I won't be able to take care of it as I should be. I think as a family, the personal touch, that's what, whenever you're owning as a family, like yours and ours, the personal touch is always going to be there. And that's what's very important for the artist, because as you were saying, like when he used to do painting, it was always hard to get your space somewhere to exhibit.
Exactly, yeah.
And he knew each and every challenge he faced. So in the future, he thought, if I ever opened up this gallery, I am going to, have those very open to the artists, because they deserve this. They spend so much time doing this hard work. So, and that's one of the things, communication. It has to be really fast so that they don't feel left out, right?
So it's, for me, I am an artist too, and I found it very frustrating and difficult for an artist to find any gallery at all who is interested, because I don't know what you actually told your experience is very similar to mine. So galleries don't answer. Galleries deal with those artists who are already famous and sell quickly for much. And actually, being a gallerist now, I understand why, because you have a huge running costs. So to run a gallery, you have to have your costs paid. So of course you are looking for new artists who are already famous. And this is the gap that you can't overcome, because as you are as a starter, you can't sell a lot and for expensive prices. And so the gallery is not interested, and that's why you are not getting famous. And this is like going like this in a circle, the cycle. But so in our case too, and this is, I said that it is in common for our mission, that we also thought that our mission is to help people to show their art, even if they are just starting.
Yeah.
They're not famous yet, they're not selling yet, or somebody sells, but not for so high prices. But actually, the most important thing is to show your art, because you can't sell, you can't get famous if you don't do anything. Right. So I suppose that the US, as you are based in the US, in California, is one of the most wealthy parts of the US. Right. But how do you find the situation with art in California? So is it easier to sell art in California, or so what is the difference with?
So honestly, my experience has been only with online orders. Like even when folks place orders on Artsy, they're online orders. But most of the time, most of our collectors have been from the United States for whatever reason. I wouldn't say just California, but there's California mostly, I would think, because out of the last few months, we sold like, let's say 8 or 10 that comes to my mind. There's been like 4 or 5 collectors within California who got them, but the rest were around the country. So the sales wise, California is, I think, great. LA is just second to New York. That's the statistics that I know of. New York is #1 and LA is #2 as far as the art sales go. But New York is #1. There's also some problems there because there's a competition is really intense, and we want to get into that, but we want to establish ourselves first in LA, and we are actually going to New York to show in Superfine Artwork. That's where we are, entering the.
I'm with you.
And you're with yeah, exactly. You'll have your work there, and you'll be present there. Hopefully, you'll all have.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah. We
so that would be
would
great.
like to go there very much because
That would be excellent,
when we visited Los Angeles, we realized it's very important for you to go to the place where you exhibited
networking.
to understand how it works, to see the people. Because in Los Angeles, I found it completely different to Budapest. I mean, the public was really very much different. People are very open, very friendly. They're ready to buy art. They are very much interested in art. So for me too, I sell my art for almost 100% to the US. So I live here in Hungary. I am Russian birth, but still I sell almost all my art to American market.
Okay.
So, Niladri, I wanted to ask you, because it's a question which is very important for me too. Being an artist and a gallerist, how can you manage do the both things? Because for an artist, it's very important to have some private time to paint.
Yes. To be honest with you, I'm struggling with that for the last 2, maybe 3 years almost now.
comrade.
Hi, comrade, right? Yeah. So I'm struggling, and I'm not being too successful in my, my artist career, my own thing, where even if I don't sell, I don't care about selling. I care about making good art that I love from heart, and something that I feel, emotionally attached to. That's what I always thought I was. And so right now, after the LA art show, I started on a painting, but that was for like just a week or so. And then after that, there's so many things that came in, and because I have to, we have so many artists who are trusting us. We have to give them precedence to, to my own thing. So I always try to have their give them the most important. Like if they have something going on, or if they have some issues, like even small issues, I try to step in and like an email or artwork not getting uploaded, or some competition, some question, or so I have to have their because they are trusting us with it. So yeah, and then.
But what are your plans? How are you planning to overcome this difficulty? I mean, how to plan to start really painting? So what's your plan?
If I ask you the same question and leave me?
I was thinking that
Leave me.
So I was the first to ask this question, but I don't know. So that is a big question of mine too, because I caught myself on the thought that when I got an order for artwork, the first thought of mine was, oh, not now, please. so because before I was, every artist is happy when he is selling, but now when you have a lot of things, and I know that I can't make painting when I'm preparing everything. So I hope that after we make some kind of standard work, standardize our steps, I can get some time, personal time for painting, because it's not like sometimes now I have 1 or 2 hours free, but it's not the way how it works. So you have to be inside yourself and to be a little bit immersed. I don't know how to.
Being an artist is not like being a scientist. You can't just run and start doing your artwork. You need the right mind frame also.
Exactly.
So yeah, he tells me every single day, it's going to be very soon when I'll start painting and somebody is going to take over my responsibility. No, I don't think he can give up this, because he keeps on thinking, what is the next thing I'll have to do? What is left over? What what the art team didn't do, he has to do. So I don't think that's going to happen very soon, but we'll see.
I will ask you, Shamima, two questions. The first one I am very interested in. How do you feel you live together with an artist? What is the feeling?
I think it's a great combination, because as a scientist, both of us are scientists, but when we see the art aspect, there's a whole new different world, the color world. But it's also the people you mix with. When you talk to other artists, the feeling is completely different when you are in the science area, right? So, and for us, I think it gives us the opportunity to think outside the box. And that is a different feeling that I can't express it to you. So when I talk to him, I had no idea when I first got into the art world, but when I started talking to him when we first met, this was a very exciting experience for me. I was like, I want to know about this artist. How are they painting this? So the whole art history, like we spent the whole day in the library, and he showed me the whole art book, and we went through it, and it's like, I didn't even know there is another art world out there. So.
Exactly, yeah, it's really a fantastic thing, because again, it's the thing which is in common with us, because you are both scientists and you are in art. And I am an artist now, but I worked for almost 30 years in business, and it was in financial and economic business. We made company formations, we made tax advice and everything. So it's so far from art as it can be. Right. So you can't find any sphere which is at more distance from art than finance, for example. And when I found out that art world is so beautiful, it's so colorful, it's so human, so for me it was just, I stopped with financial business. I couldn't get into that back, so it's difficult. And actually another question which I used to be asked too, how do you feel working together with your husband? Because, for me, I get questions that how you manage to stay together when you work together. It's terrible. You don't have any rest from each other. So it's a question I get. So what's about you?
Well, I have my own full-time job as a scientist. So, but in between, we do talk a lot about any problems or any issues that comes up. There is always going to be some difference in opinions. And I think the difference actually helps us, because he sees any issue from a different angle from what I see. And so one problem can have multiple solutions, different perspectives. So it's always good to have two different perspectives, and then we can combine and see what comes out best out of this combination. So I think, it can be challenging, because he has his perspective sometimes, and his hours that he puts in is completely different what I would expect to do. But I understand being an artist is not easy, and also having a profession, trying to manage so many artists.
It's difficult,
yeah. On an international platform, requires a lot of work. So, I try to be supportive as much as possible, but we also have conflicts because of difference in opinions.
Actually, I suppose I always answer these questions in the way that in all families, even if they don't work together, you have conflicts. So it's impossible to live the whole life without one conflict. Yeah. So it's normal. And if you can overcome them, and I suppose that having art with you, it's easier to overcome conflicts, because it's some kind of humanity, I don't know.
So how about you? How do you manage it?
The same way, actually, the same way. Now we don't work together full time with my husband, because he still is running the company. I left when I became an artist, but we are running our gallery together with our elder son. And actually we can have the same conflicts together, because it's always a conflict of interests. Because I see this way, my son or my husband, they see a different way. But still, I think that if you love your family, if you are able to listen to their opinion, sometimes it's difficult, but if you want to solve the conflict, you solve it. And still, I think that if you are creative and if you are running a gallery, it's so beautiful job. There is a lot of space for different people in this job. So we have actually the same solution as you do. So we just talk, we find the best solution, we sit down and make our heads a little bit colder, if you know. But yeah, it can be difficult coming back to this event we have now. Coming back to our ArtBIAS, this Budapest International Art Show, it's an exhibition with 77 artworks and representing 32 countries. So you said you have 90 in your baggage, right. And we have only 32. Yeah, but it's really a very big amount because right. You have to deal with people. You have to answer their questions, sure, and it's for the first time. So we had to deal with a lot of worries because we have a lot of people who are shipping to Hungary for the first time, and sometimes it's too expensive. Sometimes people are anxious about their artworks. Sometimes those artworks are already sold or are placed somewhere where they can't take it off the wall and bring it here. So we had to think about multiple solutions. So we actually gave 4 options to our artists. So they could send the artwork, ship the artwork stretched, which is expensive, but it's convenient from the point of view that you get it and just put on the wall. The other one was to get it unstretched. And here we have the facilities to stretch it, to make to buy the stretcher, to ship it, and it's not so expensive in Hungary at all. The third option was to make a giclée print. And you saw that you saw a lot of prints here. I suppose we have 20 or 22 prints, and they are really good quality. So actually, of course, it's not the original artwork, but with print, the artists have more possibilities, so they more opportunities there, because somebody can just come in and buy a print which is much cheaper, or buy original work by contacting the artist himself. And actually, the fourth opportunity for the artist is to show online. You see this show with, I suppose we have more than 10 artworks being displayed here. So it was a great work, and I suppose we both, as 2 parts of collaborations, made great job. So I can say about ourselves, but for you, I can say it was a great job. It was a great pleasure to work with you, because it was like always a communication. You remember that we discussing everything, so. Tell me about jury, because we made the jury of the exhibition. So what are you feeling when you are making the jury?
Oh, so this time it was very diverse. I think it was very diverse, more diverse than we usually have, the selection that we usually have. And it was, I was blown away by the amount of talent. I don't know. It seemed like people became better artists when they knew that they were actually going to do it like not online, but in physical gallery. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, but it seems like there's like a lot more. It seemed the standard was much higher. So it was very difficult to leave out artists. But the constraint with the physical space is it's a physical space. So you have so much, right? So you cannot have like 300 artworks, obviously. You can have 70, maybe 80. So
we realized we can have more. Of course, it depends on the size,
sure.
But still it's hard.
It's definitely, yeah. So we have to leave out some artists. I know artists don't, like it, but next time I'm pretty sure we'll be able to include more.
To make more. Actually, it was a great burden on my shoulders too, because when I was sitting there and making jury, and I said, oh God, I like this one and that one and everything, but I can't take all, and it's kind of responsibility. It's a human being there, relying on us, wanting us to. And it's always, for an artist, you don't get a lot of feedback from galleries every day. Right. So if you are left out, you don't feel fine. And for ArtBIAS, a lot of artists were left out, not because they are bad, because you know that all of them were very high quality artworks, but because you have to choose. And actually the points of view, I suppose both of us use those points. So we the point of view of coloristic, so how harmonious, what was the harmony of colors, the composition, the originality of artwork, which is also very important. So a lot of things that you have to think about, and we have even more nominations, as you remember. 2 days ago we had Niladri was packing for Budapest, and we had to choose 20 artists or 12 artists for different nominations, and it was a hard job to find the system how we can do it together. Not to, because we didn't want it to be golden duck choice. And
yeah, or Teravarna choice. So like, you know, like it has to be blind. So that way we both know that we are on the right path. And most of the artworks that we decided on independently seemed like we were both.
It was fantastic. So, you know, it was like we decided that, so we had 77 artworks. We have chosen 25. And so we did it the way that every artwork received from 1 to 25 points. The 25 points was the best. And it was done separately by Teravarna and separately by Golden Duck. And when I received the results, it was so fantastic that more than 60% of the artworks were evaluated the similar way by you and by me, by us. And, you know, it's just like 70 points here, 70 points there. But there were a few artworks that were evaluated completely different. So there were artworks I gave 5 points and you gave 25, and vice versa, because we are coming from different continents. We are coming from different surroundings. We have different tastes. So it's normal for art. But at the end of the day, we both found the best of the show, which was actually, we found it the best, both of us. I mean, so it was very interesting, but it's a big intrigue because, yeah, tomorrow we will announce it. Nobody knows it, but we know. But we are keeping the secret.
We're not going to announce that right now.
So this is the first year, right, of this huge initiative. How much exposure are you getting here in Budapest?
I feel people are very much interested. So in Budapest, it's a little bit more difficult thing than in Los Angeles, because in Los Angeles, I saw that really a lot of people are interested in art. So, I mean, when I went to Los Angeles Art Show, I saw that people were waiting outside for maybe an hour or more to get in. And so those people were not so wealthy. I mean, it were not multimillionaires. So just ordinary, common people, they just appreciated art. In Hungary, we have this tradition being developed. But I can say that, you know, Golden Duck Gallery is a new gallery. So we opened just in October. So we have a little bit more than half a year in our background. It's very short time for a gallery, but still we have a big interest. I mean, a lot of people watching my streams, because I explained people what's going to happen. We have many followers, and new followers are coming to our Instagram and Facebook accounts. I hope that a lot of people will come to tomorrow to the grand opening. So I see that really people appreciate being exposed. And the thing that I was so surprised by is that people came personally from different countries to give us their artwork. So we came people from the UK, people from Germany, from China. I suppose they not came from China just to visit us, but still they came to Budapest for 1 day just to give their artwork. People from Slovakia made their way by train here just to give me the artwork and went back by train. So that means that people really appreciate the possibility to be shown in a relatively big gallery in the center of town. So, and it is a very pleasant thing to us, because that means that this concept of us is right. So it's not like, you know, you start something and nobody is reacting.
Right.
You see their reaction, you see the interest. And I remember that we both were not sure that our initiative will be successful. And oh God, are they interested? And so people are from different continents. And then we have now artists from Australia, from Haiti, from Taiwan, from the US, of course, from UK. So actually countries from all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's great. I mean, I think it has big future.
Yeah,
personally.
I personally
So
think
it's a big motivation for you
Yeah,
to
exactly.
keep this going and expanding it.
Yeah, and we have sculptures here also, and it was the first time we accepted sculptures from abroad, and there was a lot of anxiety about that, because shipping and this all. So it's of course we will have to develop things, because we realize that sometimes it's cheaper if we order the shipping from Hungary. So, for example, an artwork from the US can be shipped cheaper if we order the shipping from the US. Because last time I had the same situation when my artwork was out in the US at the exhibition, and they wanted to ship it to me, and they received a quotation as $900 to ship my artwork from the US to Hungary, and we did the same for $100.
Oh, wow.
So maybe we will offer this service that if somebody wants to exhibit here, we order the shipping here.
Right.
And just, because for an artist to pay an enormous amount of money, it's terrible. You haven't sold anything yet, but still you have to.
$100. So how do you so maybe like next time when we do it, like we can just advertise like the fifth way.
I suppose we will change it, because we will find it a little bit better, because for TNT, which is FedEx partner, we have a corporative tariff. We have a company account with them. Yeah, and so that's why it's cheaper, and they don't work with the private persons at all. So if people call them, you can't work with them. So we can organize the shipping. We will have to charge for that something, because
That's what I'm saying. So $100 or $150 is still nothing compared to like if it's like exactly 900.
Charge $50 up. It's
have to charge,
yeah, because it's a problem of extra hours of making special invoice.
So Katya, I wanted to ask you. I know this your Golden Duck Gallery is new, relatively new. It's not even a year. It's just about over 6 months. And what made you open up a gallery all of a sudden? I know you're an artist, but
I am an artist.
how do you think from the other side of that? Okay, there you go.
So at the end of the day, being an artist, you're always depending on galleries.
Yes.
And I thought that, okay, I still can depend on different galleries, but if I have my own gallery, it's my depending on somebody goes down. And I love building communities. With my church school, with camp I organize for children, I love it. And it's completely different thing when you sit and paint for your own, and you make your gallery for yourself, and it's still not the same as building a community. So after opening gallery, I realized that our mission is to help others, not only to exhibit my own artworks. Sometimes I do that too, but mainly, so my husband always complains that I wanted a gallery to show your artworks, and where are your artworks still being there in the somewhere in the storage room? Yeah, but it's so great because I meet a lot of people. And we have always different new projects. A music club, we are going to have fairs for jewelry. I mean those, not those handmade, unique jewelries. So all connected with art, and the life turns to be so interesting. Yes. So it's really fantastic. And this project, ArtBIAS, it's also fantastic. It's giving possibility to a great amount of people to show their artwork. I am becoming, it's not the question of wealth, I am becoming wealth by brain, by
Right,
soul,
exactly.
by everything. So expanding my mind everywhere. So yeah. I think that this is our mission, and of course I will show my artworks too, but as my family knows, normally it's when I don't have time or possibility to make other exhibitions, want to have some rest, then I place my artworks on the wall and have some rest, because I don't have to work much with my artworks. So that's my last question in this talk, because we have a lot of things to do yet. And you came here in Budapest from Los Angeles. What is the main difference? So how you can define this difference between two cities?
What I feel is like, and this is for, you know, everywhere in Europe, I think it's the culture and the history is nowhere compared to America. America is basically young, and they don't have, we don't have that much of history. I mean, here it goes back like thousands of years. So depending on where you are, and in Greece and Italy, it goes back, you know, 3,000 years. So that like the entire thing, the city, how it is built, the streets, everything that you see around you, it seems so historical. They have like a story to tell. All of these, it's a great feeling. You know, that I get nowhere in America. It's a different kind of feeling over here. I'm not really sure art-wise how that is, because I haven't interacted that much. But I'm pretty sure, you know, they have, Budapest is one of the great cities over here in the heart of Europe.
Actually, art is also very strong, because during ArtBIAS, you know, we had blind jury. We didn't. So when we had jury, we didn't know anything about the artists, and we had very strong Hungarian line here. So, and some of the winners are also Hungarians, and not because I am Hungarian and I am, you know, just helping out. No, it's I can say that Hungarian art is strong also. And it's a long way for us to go to enter European and worldwide art markets better in the future. And Golden Duck Gallery, together with Teravarna, is going to make this work too.
Yes, definitely. In the US, I'm hoping, you know, Hungarian artists would be able to, like, your strength
and
here.
For Hungary to see US artists too, because it's very important to make exchange. It makes it stronger minded. And now, so we came to the end of our brilliant conversation. I am so happy that Dr. Sarker and Shamima Sarker, she is also Sarker. I mean, both Sarkers. The whole Sarkers family, almost the whole family, is here, and we have a lot of plans here in Budapest for today and tomorrow. And we are happy you've been with us. Thank you for your patience.
We are really happy that, you know, you invited us. It was great. You know, it's just
so
unbelievable.
Much for your warm hospitality.
It's it's been great.
Being in your gallery.
So
feel like a family.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Thank
are
you.
our family.
Yeah. Our family.
And we'll go a long way. We can promise that for sure. Yeah. Thank you.